We have another one up the hill. Welcome to Six Sigma Ranch. Let me just introduce the team. My wife over there is always behind the camera. Christian, our oldest son, works for us now. He joined us last year and works with the vineyards with David, who is our vineyard manager. David. Hi. And helps me with other things. His wife Rachel is over there. And Susan does our marketing and public relations. And Walt is hiding down there. Where are you, Walt? Walt doesn't work for us yet, but he's retiring as a principal from a school in Middletown and is joining us July 1, Walt, something like that, to hopefully run our new hospitality center. When I say hopefully, it's because we have the basement in now, and hopefully we'll get the rest of it in. But it's nice to have you all here on such a beautiful day. But that's Six Sigma Ranch for you. The sun shines every day and it rains at night. David will give you some instructions about how to prune the vineyard and the background and why not. And grab some coffee, grab a croissant, and then do you want to do it over here, David?
Why don't we talk here for a few minutes?
Okay.
People can continue to snack if they like. I have just one question. What will Walt do if the hospitality center is not ready when he retires?
Build it.
I just want to know if he's going to be working with my team or not.
The answer is I'm going to have brain surgery, half of my brain taken out, and then take your place.
So I'm back in a weak mind. Well, thank you for coming. This is our second go at this, and so I've prepared a few comments. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about kind of a top-down view of what we're doing out here. Obviously, we're practicing agriculture, and within agriculture, there's this subject called viticulture. And the thing that I was, as I was thinking about this over the last couple of days, is the culture part of agriculture and viticulture, because what culture means in these contexts is basically manipulating natural processes and tendencies that vines or trees or plants are otherwise programmed to do naturally. And what we're doing is trying to basically coax out of the natural plants and processes that are going on out here the desired result, which in this case is really good grapes that can make really good wine. So that's kind of overall what we're doing out here, and that applies whether we're pruning or planting or picking or irrigating. We're working with nature and trying to encourage things to happen that will give us those grapes that we are trying to grow. So it all basically comes back to the fact that, you know, we can only control certain things, and nature deals us what comes naturally. And last year, a prime example of that was in the spring, late April, we had some really cold weather that came through and affected certain areas more than others, but there was quite a severe frost event that occurred not just in Lake County but really around the state, and places that had never had any frost damage experienced it last year. So that will lead into a couple of comments that some changes we've made this year. If any of you were here last year, you will notice those when we get out into the vineyard. But another thing that we do here at Six Sigma, and I manage other properties as well, so this is a comment I'll make more generally, but we're very committed to practicing sustainable agriculture. And sustainability is all about doing these practices, but in a way that allows for a continual operation to exist, and not just for the generations that are here today, but generations down the road. And so sustainability has really three areas of practice. One is environmental, has to do with environmental practices that are respectful of environmental concerns. The second one is social equity, which basically is being respectful and working in ways that allows our employees to work in a safe environment and to earn a decent living, and that is otherwise respectful of our neighbors and the community at large. And then the third side of this is the economic viability, because it can't be sustainable if it's not economically viable. So this is a sort of a works in the background, and we think about these things as we make decisions in the vineyard and in the marketing and in the winemaking. So all of that plays in.
Maybe one comment on that, David, because for the first time this year, he used a new way of mowing the vineyard. Here you can see how nice it is. We had 18 sheep in here, and just a little warning, when you walk around, they did some fertilization as well. So
watch for the meadow muffin.
And it was surprising to me, Christian and I walked the vineyard to check out, and it's evenly spread all over. It's unbelievable. But look at how well manicured it is. And
Did they leave the plants alone?
Yeah, at this time of the year they do.
Yeah, they don't
when
care
they start,
about skunk. They didn't eat the green stuff.
If it was goats, they might steal them off.
Yeah,
goats will destroy everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, David.
So this all leads back to why we're here, which is pruning. And as I was preparing my comments, Kai reminded me not to say anything off color. So in order to talk about pruning, however, we have to talk about reproduction, which is not sex, but it's reproduction. Because what vines and animals and teenagers all want to do is reproduce. It's part of these natural processes that we're managing. Vines reproduce by growing fruit, because inside each of those little berries, grape berries, is a seed. And so what we're trying to do as we prune is control how much reproduction the vine can actually do in a given year. So we're trying to regulate the amount of fruit that grows. And so we do this during the dormant part of the year when the vine is asleep, and pruning has a stimulative effect to the vine, and so we don't want to do this too early in the fall when there's still leaves on the vines, or even just after the vines have lost their leaves, because there's the sap in the growth from the prior year is actually being transferred down into the trunk and the roots of the vine, basically to provide storage for the following year, carbohydrate storage, so that they can emerge from dormancy and grow really vigorously once the soil warms up and the weather warms up. So we do this during dormancy, and the idea is that we reduce the number of growth points on the vine so that the energy of the vine is concentrated into the places where we want that growth to occur. So growth points on vines are called buds. So as we look at the vines, and maybe we should go into the vineyard to do this, do you want to do this here, Christian, or across the way? Here?
Might be better across the way.
Okay.
Kind of compare.
Why don't we walk that way? Our guys are just going to start pruning so we can watch them too, but I'll give you a little bit of